Hi and welcome. In this video I wanted to try a few different techniques. I'm beginning with the base this time and I'm just scoring out some lines here to help with the next step. As you can see, I also have some clay in the whack mold beside it there. I'm using some air dry clay to make the ground texture. So to begin with, I'm just using some PVA glue here to help it stick. This actually took a fair bit of time and I used about 3/4 of the pack of the clay. But I think I used too much because in the end it actually warped the foam base. I'm using a 3D printed texture roller to create the look of a dry seabed, and I'm just coating the water here just to make sure the clay doesn't stick to it. I'm using a head and shoulders shampoo bottle because I love the shape of it. I thought it would look really good as a research station. The lid kind of snaps back when opened, but I wanted it to sit closer to the opening, so I had to cut off these wee tabs. It was a lot harder to cut through this than I thought, so I had to get the bigger scalpel so that I could use more force and just had to poke it through and cut small bits at a time. And now I'm just making a corresponding hole in the bottle, and this was a lot easier to cut. Now, a deep sea research station needs an observation window, so I used this lid as a template so that I could draw a circle and cut it out. I'm using this clear lid from a soft cheese tub as the window. Because you may be able to see inside this, I had to fill it with something. So I used these blocks from a small Jenga for the floor. And just doing a test fit. And just so it doesn't look barren inside, I'm adding some goolies and bits and pieces to it. I've added some EVA foam to the back and then just glued in some cogs to make it look like some sort of workings in the background. I also added 2 chest pieces there, just to make it look like some sort of controls or something. I'm not sure where this piece is from or where I even found it, but I thought it looked like some sort of skylight or docking station or something. I tried using a hot glue gun to melt the hole here, but it wasn't big enough, so I ended up having to just use a scalpel anyway. I'm adding this small black plastic tube for like oxygen supply or cabling or something maybe. This was not a part I didn't know what was from, but I thought it looked really good for the bottom of the shaft going into the ground. I forgot to hit record here, but I added legs to the bottom of the station. And now I'm just gluing the station and the shaft onto the base. I'm also adding the clay rocks that I made earlier as well. They actually turned out better than I thought they would. I'm using some foam clay here to put around the base of the legs and the shaft. I'm using a clay shaper tool to make divots in the foam clay here. I'm hoping it kind of looks like barnacles or both you see on the bottom of things in the sea. And just using the same technique around the shaft, and also I'll do the same around the rocks just to blend them all into the base. I 3D printed a tent and campfire and I'm gluing them onto the base, and you'll see the reason why during the story time. There was a bit of a gap around the tent, so I'm just blending it into the base. I sealed everything with a blend of PVA and black paint, and also gave it a Senthol highlight base coat. It didn't look like enough time had passed, so using a butane torch, I bent over this pipe and I'll add some damage to the shaft as well. And sealing the cardboard again here in gesso just to make it a bit more durable. I had some dried peach pips and I thought they looked like coral, so I added them to the base here. I took some string and added some knots into it and glued it into the hats as a way for someone to climb up into it. I decided I wanted the station to be white, so I took it out again and spread the whole thing with white spray paint. I thought there wasn't enough detail, so I added some rivets around the observation window and around the edges of the station. Trying to glue the window in was fiddly, it took quite a while. I had to hold it in place with tweezers shoved inside and then glued around the edges. So I've used this technique before, transferring images onto wood, but I've never tried it onto the models or plastic. So what I've done is coated the paper in gesso and let it dry overnight. Now I'm going to coat it again in gesso and stick it onto the model, and then it should transfer the image onto the background. However, before I used laser printer and the toner works differently than inkjet, so it didn't really work out as quite as good as what I had planned, but it wasn't too bad considering.
My grandfather used to tell stories about the ocean. The ocean, a body of water so vast that a person could sail for months and never see land. I always thought he was mad. Standing here now, staring across thousands of miles of cracked earth, it's hard to imagine this wasteland was ever anything else. Then we found the facility. At first I thought it was another weather station. The dry sea is littered with old structures. Most have been picked clean by scavengers decades ago. This one is different. 4 rusted legs lifted the station clear of the seabed, and beside it stood a massive vertical shaft disappearing into the crust below. The markings on the side were still visible. Deep Sea Research. Sector 13. Research, not mining or drilling. Research. That was what caught my attention. People don't build structures like this unless they're watching something. We made camp beside it 2 nights ago. The hatch wasn't easy to reach. A side access door near the top had broken open long ago. Somebody had left a rope hanging from it, though whether that was 20 years ago or 200, I couldn't tell. I climbed up this morning. Inside I found equipment, most of it useless. Screens shattered, records corrupted. But the station wasn't empty. It was full of observations, measurements, charts, warning notices. The same phrases appeared over and over again. Anomaly, growth, pressure variance, containment status. Not the sort of language you'd expect from marine biologists. We spent 2 days searching, taking turns to bring out whatever we thought would be useful. Then yesterday, I found the shaft controls, or what was left of them. The station wasn't the facility. It was merely watching it. Everything important was below, thousands of meters below. The shaft beside the station wasn't a support column. It was an elevator. Or at least it had been once. The lower levels had long since lost power. The elevator itself was gone. And then my wife noticed something strange. The damage. The shaft hadn't collapsed. It had burst. Metal around one section was peeled outward like the skin of a fruit, not crushed inward. Something had forced its way out. Something large. I couldn't sleep last night. The campfire burned until dawn while I stared at that torn metal, trying not to think about what could bend steel like that. This morning, my wife found the final log. Only part of it survived. The recording was fragmented. The scientist speaking sounded exhausted, terrified. Behind her, alarms screamed. She said,
"The seabed fracture is accelerating."
Static.
"It's responding to the extraction."
More static. Then,
"We've confirmed movement within the anomaly."
the screen flickered. For a second, the woman looked directly into the camera. Then she whispered.
"It's coming up."
The recording ended. No explanation. No further logs. Nothing. Just silence. I walked out to the shaft after sunset. I wanted to convince myself it was nonsense. A dying scientist imagining things. Then we heard it. A sound. Deep below the earth. Not very loud, but I felt it through the soles of my boots. It was like a single metallic groan rising from somewhere beneath the crust, as though something far underground had shifted in its sleep. Tomorrow, we're going to try and find a way down, because the ocean didn't simply disappear. Nobody builds a station like this to study fish. And if the scientists were right, whatever came out of that shaft may be the reason the sea is gone.
And that's it done. I'm actually overall happy with it, but I wish the decals, the label things that had come out a bit better. I'll have to maybe experiment with that to see if I can find a better way of doing it. But let me know how you feel and what you think in the comments, and as always, please like and share and all the good things, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.